Oh, I have to talk about my crappy past today. Specifically something that happened more than 10 years in the past, because I have actually decided that I'm going to stop talking about things that happened to me in the current, at least if they're work related. But what isn't work related for me? Technically, I'm a YouTuber, so everything I talk about becomes work related. Anyway, before I go any further, let me remind you all that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these objects. This is a mask, but I purchased an object from the company 4Ocean. And every time you make a purchase from 4Ocean, they pull a pot of trash out of the ocean. They are also involved in programs to stop trash from getting into the ocean. And, you're not only just cleaning up the ocean, but you're also raising awareness. So, comment on this video, hit that like button, subscribe, do all those good things. Support a better, cleaner ocean. Anyway, so a couple years ago, a good decade ago, I used to have a friend. We were practically inseparable until he joined the military at 26. And, we were still good friends when he was in the military, but when he came back, the dude was insufferable. I mean, I always expected him to grow up. He was always really childish and inappropriate. I always expected him to grow up, but he wouldn't. And then, after he didn't grow up, he just started getting worse and worse and worse. And more childish. I couldn't have a conversation without him without him screaming, crying, throwing a temper tantrum. So eventually we stopped being friends. This was more a decision he made than I made, but I basically told him, look, dude, you decide whatever it is you want to do when we hang out. You've come to the point where you've made it clear you're not going to listen to anything I have to say. You do what you want to do. So just call me, leave a voicemail. If you're doing something I want to do, I'll come over. If not, I'll stay home. It's just that simple. Didn't have time to argue with him anymore. And then he went around and told all of our friends that I wouldn't speak to him. Whether or not he thought that, at a certain point, I reminded him of the condition that he had to call and leave a message, and he said, well, I forgot. Okay, but you didn't go around and tell all your friends, hey guys, I forgot, Richard said, call me and leave a message because I don't have time to argue with you anymore. But that's not what we're talking about. See, somebody decided, another man with a military background, by the way, decided that he wanted to get us back together as friends. So he goes and he talks to him, for me, I guess, and says a bunch of things. And he's like, oh, just call me. No, I don't really want to talk to you. I don't have any reason to. You're lying. And, I basically tasked this gentleman with the quest of finding the truth. So, I said, look, this guy didn't give you the truth. So here's another person you can go talk to. Find out why they refuse to speak to me. Basically he wanted him to be a detective. Maybe 6 months later, I forget exactly how long, we had another conversation. He said something very obvious. And I said, hooray for Captain Obvious. This was online. And he gets all offended and ends the friendship because I called him Captain Obvious. Now, is it possible that this person had been called Captain Obvious before and it really offended him enough to end the friendship? I guess. Given that he had a military background, I would assume he'd be a little thicker skinned. But hey, I don't know the man that well. But this leads us to a question. Which is worse? Lying to a friend or calling them Captain Obvious? Now, of course, it must be stated in this particular case, if we give this person the benefit of the doubt, okay, they said something they thought was true that got everyone upset with me, and then found out it wasn't true and refused to withdraw the statement. Refused to say, hey guys, look, I made a mistake. So I don't believe that's the case. I believe this person intentionally lied. But, if you give them the best benefit of the doubt, that's sort of the question. Which is worse, the lie or calling someone Captain Obvious? Now, obviously, there are some insults that are worse than some lies. So this is a very scalistic thing. So that's why we have to say, Captain Obvious, is this a really big insult? Maybe it is. Maybe you think it is. And it's okay to have that opinion. Maybe you think lying isn't a big deal. Alright? But I just want to know that in the comments below. Which do you think is worse? Lying to somebody or calling them Captain Obvious? What I really want is lying is worse or calling them Captain Obvious is worse in the comments below. But you could give an explanation if you want to. You could say unsure, which is fine. I'll give you that explanation. And, you could even go as far as to say the mistake isn't worse even without the retraction, because without the retraction is important, or, it's worse either way. You could give me an explanation, but I'd really prefer, you say lie is worth, obvious is worth, or unsure. Start your comment that way. Anyway, so yeah, this is a senseless survey for you, and I would very much like an answer. I'm Richard. That's right, Randall the Rat here, and I'm back. Despite your best effort to be lazy, Richard, the owner of this channel, is still going to pay for a pound of trash to be removed from the ocean for every 1,000 subscribers after he gets monetized. He's paid for 2 pounds, he wants to pay for more, he wants to save the ocean at no cost to you. And what do you have to do? What do you have to do, lazy, disgusting, delicious human? You have to like this video and comment on it and encourage people to subscribe. Randall the Rat, could you come over? You look delicious. Come over. Maybe don't comment on this video, because then people will know you came over, and then I'll eat you and they'll know. Haven't had human in a while.